for our Saturday night TCL Team Boxing League doubleheader as the Dallas Enforcers take on the Houston Hitmen from Red Owl Arena. And good evening, everybody. Glad to have you with us as we welcome you inside our Merit Sports TV studios. Justin Shackle, Ray Flores with you, getting set for a pair of matches tonight in TCL play. And as we get closer to the postseason, it's really simple here. We know Houston's story. They're trying to avoid being the first winless team in TCL history. But for the Dallas Elite at 4-2, they could take care of business here and kind of set themselves up nicely with 2 weeks to go in the regular season and become one of those top 4 seeded teams in the postseason.
Well, the key, Justin, is to be able to improve your playoff positioning. We saw that Dallas is probably going to not follow the script that Miami had. They had destiny in their own hands. They could have better playoff positioning. If Dallas wins tonight, they could be in the top 4 as we head towards the playoffs. For Houston, you're matching up against your in-state rival. You do not want to fall short. And also, you want to avoid history in a bad way. Typically, you want to make history in a good way. Houston's trying to avoid it in a bad way. They're fighting for pride, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Houston brings to the table later on tonight.
Yeah, Dallas is a team that banked a lot of wins early on. They won 4 of their first 5 matches. They enter tonight at 4-2 as we take a look at some of the standout performances for the Dallas Enforcers. And how about first year 135-pounder Jack Sambiaku coming on the scene. He picked up a stoppage in Dallas's last fight to Philadelphia. Now, they lost that battle back in late May, 232-218, but Sambiaku was one of the few highlights for this Dallas team. And it's going to be interesting because we saw Dallas fall well short against Philadelphia, and we know what's at the very top tier of the TCL. There's Las Vegas, there's Philadelphia. Dallas still has a chance to put themselves right in that tier below those 2 squads, and as we know in the playoffs, anything can happen as you see some action here from Sarah Click as well. This is what makes this interesting. Dallas is a very interesting team to watch.
Well, for Dallas, you know, they have good days and they have bad days. And I think the key for them is to find consistency. And they're hoping to do that later tonight against Houston. For Houston, they got a chip on their shoulder. They're looking to get that win and put Dallas in a precarious position. So we will find out those answers later on tonight.
And you mentioned it has been a trying season for the Houston Hitmen, who come in at 0-6. Israel Rodriguez and Malik Lark, they have been 2 bright spots in a lineup that has seen a lot of substitutions, a lot of inconsistent performances. But both men, as we see Rodriguez in action here, they have done a nice job at leading the way, and they're going to have to really try and come out here these last 2 opportunities to get that first W of the season. Like you mentioned, they fight for pride. They also have a spot here to spoil the playoff seeding.
Well, you mentioned about pride, Justin. That's exactly what we're looking for with Houston. They have an opportunity to make some headway and upend Dallas here this evening.
Taking a look at the latest TCL standings, we saw Las Vegas beat Philadelphia last night to stay undefeated at 7-0, but there you see 3rd place Dallas. They can make a move, kind of separate themselves from any spotty playoff seeding decisions with the likes of an Atlanta or a Phoenix or even a Miami. They need to win tonight, and they'll be sitting pretty with 1 more regular season matchup to go. Let's take a look at the launch round fight card, rounds 1 through 8, as we get closer to action here at Red Owl Arena. And right at the top is an intriguing matchup between a pair of featherweights in Michaela Rampage, an MMA fighter, against the very successful Melissa Parker. But when you take a look at all of these 8 rounds, Ray, which one stands out to you as we get going with these launch rounds?
Well, to me, I'm going to look at round number 3 between Malik Samar Lark and also Ismael Rodriguez. For Lark, he has won 6 in a row, trying to make it 7 in a row. He's 22 years of age, a lot of youth, a lot of enthusiasm, and he's on a roll. But he's matching up against the Houston Hitmen's Ismael Rodriguez, who's won 2 straight, and he's hoping to upend and stop Lark's win streak and also continue his own and extend his win streak to 3 here tonight. And also, round 3, setting the table, so important for Houston to be able to get those 6 defeats and put it in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, Rodriguez has caught a little bit of fire here, but in Lark, he is facing his most experienced and most successful TCL opponent to date. So it'll be an interesting matchup, round number 3, and they'll be in for 2 rounds tonight. Let's go out to Red Owl Arena. Third member of our broadcast crew is Bubba Jenkins. And Bubba, you were in the arena last night when we saw Miami fail to take care of business against Boston. And I bring that up because Dallas doesn't want to fall in that same trap. From what you saw with Miami last night, what's the biggest takeaway? And you know, look, if Bubba Jenkins was giving a pep talk to the Dallas Enforcers, what would he be saying prior to this matchup tonight?
That's a good question, man. Listen, I got the pep talks because I was a captain, I was a leader, so I had them Ray Lewis pep talks on hand. I would tell them, listen, we got to start fast, baby. This is Dallas. We started fast like we have in the season earlier. It was 4 straight, 4 out of our 5, and then we took a little lull. So I would tell them to get back to the things of the old, get back to the coaching, having those cues on the sideline, saying the right things, and everybody being on the same accord with those chants and those mantras that they have. And then I would tell the other team, listen, don't go 0-7, Houston. Come on. Don't make history and be that only team to not do it. We're going to be here in Texas where they do it big. Don't do it that big where you make history in the wrong way. So that's what I'm looking for right now.
Bubba, collectively for Houston, how much does those in-state rivalry matchups play a factor? Because in my opinion, we'll likely see the best version of the Houston Hitmen here tonight against Dallas.
Well, like you said, yesterday we saw some desperate fighters. Today we're going to see a Houston kind of, a prideful Houston, not want to give up that 0-7 start that no one else has had, right? You'll be the only team to ever have done that, right? And you don't want to wear that. The coach doesn't want to wear that on his face as a fighter that he is, being a bare knuckle kind of guy. So, they want to fight with some pride. And of course, anytime you're in the same state, same city, same district, same area as someone else who's doing your craft, you want to show them that you're better. So of course, the in-state rivalry is going to play to some fact, but it ain't been a rivalry as Dallas has smoked them for the most part, even with the record.
Bubba, thanks so much. We look forward to catching up with you a little bit later on in the broadcast once the matches get underway. We're going to take our first break of the night. When we come back, we will meet both teams. Dallas and Houston make their respective team ring walks, and then it is the beginning of the launch rounds. The Enforcers with...
Growing up at the time, I was a kid, so I didn't really realize if it was a hard life or an easy life. My mom raised me by herself. There was 4 of us. We moved in with my grandma. I was always just by myself, but I always loved to fight. I started boxing when I was 21. I was knocking everybody out. When I fight, everybody's excited. I'm just having fun and winning.
Follow AJ and the Dallas Enforcers live on Season 3 of TCL Team Boxing League. Weekends on Merit TV.
Whether you're mastering the golf course, nurturing your garden, or dancing the cha-cha-cha, maintain your well-being with Balance of Nature fruits and veggies supplements, a formulated blend of 31 whole food ingredients. Imagine the possibilities when you feel your best, exploring new passions, rediscovering old ones, and embracing every moment with renewed enthusiasm. It's time to redefine what's possible and live life on your terms. Start your journey with Balance of Nature.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% US-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Balance of Nature is a proud partner of TCL Team Boxing League. As a preferred customer, get 35% off your first set when you use code FIGHT. Go to balanceofnature.com or call today. We're getting set for the ring walks. Dallas Enforcers versus the Houston Hitmen in Houston, Texas. Let's go inside Red Owl Arena with Patrick Creighton.
Fight fans, welcome and thank you for joining us at Red Owl Arena. We'd like to thank the Texas Department of Licensing and Registration along with Program Director Greg Alvarez for hosting our event. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, Balance of Nature, Serenity Springs Recovery Center, HotelPlanner.com, and Tim Smith Spirits. First up, let's meet. Please welcome the Dallas Enforcers.
Well, the mission statement quite simple for this Dallas Enforcers team at 4-2. They're currently in third place atop the TCL overall league standings. A win tonight would all but cement their position among the top 4 in playoff seedings. And with one more regular season bout to go against the current 2-4 LA Elite on July 11th, Dallas would have an easy end to its regular season. They don't want to make things more complicated than it needs to be, and they do that by winning here tonight against the Houston Hitmen.
From former Texas super middleweight champion and U.S. national team member Tony T. Max, Dallas Enforcers. Featherweight, Michaela Rampage. Featherweight, Avaran A.J. Graham. Lightweight, Malik Lark. Super lightweight, Nadia Harry. Welterweight, Deontay Money Every Time Brown. Super welterweight, Mauricio Bad News King. Middleweight, Adolf the Wolf Stevens. Heavyweight, Kenyon Walker. Lightweight, Jack Sambiaku. Former Chicago Golden Gloves champion, super middleweight, Jordan Action Jackson. Former world title challenger, cruiserweight, Calvin Hot Sauce Henderson. Heavyweight, Patrick Magic Mailata. And their opponents, your hometown Houston Hitmen.
Well, there are only 2 more opportunities for the 0-6 Houston Hitmen to avoid making the wrong kind of history, becoming the first winless team in the 3 years of TCL Team Boxing League. They enter the ring here against one of their in-state division foes against Dallas. If they fail to come up with win number 1 tonight, all that's left is July 11th against a New York City Attitude team that is fighting for its playoff lives. They don't want to look ahead to July 11th. They want to take care of what they can that in terms of what's in front of them, and that is here this evening in their home arena.
Coach Bobby Benson's Houston Hitmen. Featherweight, Melissa Parker. Featherweight, Martel the Menace Washburn. Lightweight, Israel Rodriguez. Super lightweight, Samantha Ginthan. Welterweight, Todd Emanuel. Super welterweight, Ray Alif Ali Talib. Middleweight, Rafael Ibach. WBA Latino champion, heavyweight, Nogi Dominican Dynamite Aguilera. He is the former ABO and current Texas champion, lightweight, Nelson Hot Hands Hampton. Light heavyweight, Darian Heron. Cruiserweight, Darnell Pierce. Heavyweight, Travaris the Bear Barnes. Fight fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats and give a warm welcome to Erica Aran as she performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Give it one more time for Miss Erica Aran.
Erica Aaron getting us started here with the national anthem at Red Owl Arena. As we get set there, you see the Houston Hitmen. And they're going to be in good hands with their leadoff fighter, that's for sure. Melissa Parker has had a lot of success, the veteran of the fight game in her second season for Houston. She has had a successful season
Welcome to
for an
the
unsuccessful
lunch
team.
rounds. Our first round is in the 126-pound division. For the Dallas Enforcers, Michaela Rampage. For the Houston Hitmen, Melissa Parker.
There you see Michaela Rampage making her TCL debut. .30 years of age, stands at 5'11". And Ray, she has a 72-inch reach for a 126-pounder.
That's almost unheard of, unfathomable, Justin. And we'll see if she decides to use it. Already sticking out that jab.
Why not?
I like how she's throwing it out with frequency already and trying to keep Parker at bay.
So it'll be an interesting obstacle for Parker to get by in terms of that jab from Rampage.
You heard the ovation for Melissa Parker as we're here at Red Owl Arena. The fans from Houston have come out, and even though their team is winless, they are supporting them and showcasing how much they appreciate the effort that Houston is putting on. And we'll see if Parker can start off on a bright note for Houston.
Parker, 38 years of age, originally from Brooklyn, now living and training in Texas, in Spring, Texas, just outside of Houston. A military veteran. She also has an MMA background as well as traditional boxing.
He just got clobbered there with the right hand by Rampage. And if you're Dallas, you have to understand this is so vital because you want to be in the top 4 of the seedings as you head towards the playoffs because you want to avoid teams like Philadelphia and Las Vegas in the early going.
Parker finding an opening here, now getting close up with Michaela Rampage. And that is so true because once you're in the postseason, look, anything can happen. And if you can maybe delay the meeting with hot teams like Philadelphia or Las Vegas until the semifinals or even the championship, you're obviously in good position. But yeah, you may have lost to them in the regular season, but you throw all that out the window at that point.
Also, Justin, when it comes to the playoffs, it's not like a series that you're matching up against a team collectively. It's one and done, single elimination. So if you have an injury or two, you get a knockdown or two, you can change things around in a very quick fashion. So it's important to be in the upper echelon of the playoff picture. And then you go and see and you take your chances later on when you take on the upper echelon teams, if they even make it that far.
Nice left hand from Rampage as she strikes and then gets out of the way.
I like how Rampage is using her range and her height and her physical tools, but Parker is not making this easy for her.
She's adjusting the best she can with the obstacles in front of her, those physical tools like you mentioned. Not too many featherweights in the TCL or in boxing period that have a reach of 70+ inches.
Yeah, any gender for that matter,
yeah.
Man or woman. Sticks that jab, left hook.
You know, when you talk about reaches and what's maybe appropriate for each type of fighter profile, 72 inches as far as reach goes, that's pretty good for like a welterweight.
It is.
That's 147 pounds. Again, these two 126-pounders just concluding round 1.
As you see that, the right hand misses, but you're seeing her come inside. Rampage with that left hook. But Parker was trying to get on the inside, make it a physically grueling round for Rampage, but Rampage teeing off upon Parker and showcasing her combination, some grazing shots there, but I'm sure they caught the attention of the judges.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 in the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Michaela Rampage.
A win in her TCL debut.
10-9. This round brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round 2 is in the 126-pound division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Everan A.J. Graham. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Martel the Menace Washburn.
Well, when it comes to the Dallas Enforcers, Justin, I'm always curious to see how they scout their talent, and a lot of it is Midwest-based. You have Chicago, Minneapolis, and St. Louis all represented with the Dallas Enforcers.
Graham and Washburn. Graham, one of the top performers in the TCL's existence, a career 23-9 fighter with 2 knockouts. Let's get to know Graham a little bit better.
Growing up at the time, I was a kid, so I didn't really realize if it was a hard life or an easy life. My mom raised me by herself. There was 4 of us. We moved in with my grandma. I was always just by myself, but I always loved to fight. I started boxing when I was 21. I was knocking everybody out. When I fight, everybody's excited. I'm just having fun and winning.
Let's see if you can have fun here against the 29-year-old who is 6-12 in his TCL career. Martel Washburn has lost 4 in a row.
Well, for Washburn, it's about just finding some success, even a little bit, over the course of a few seconds, and then building upon that, not allowing Everan Graham to get comfortable. Graham is about having fun, being relaxed. You can see it by his body language. But Washburn's got to understand, I got to make this guy uncomfortable here inside the ring. We're fighting in our backyard, and we have to make it unpleasant for the Dallas Enforcers.
Graham fighting in the red trunks for the 4-2 Dallas Enforcers. Washburn in the white for Houston.
And the Atlanta Attack are watching this matchup because they are looking at 4-3 at what Dallas is doing. And if you're Dallas, you want to remain ahead of Atlanta. And if you can clinch that 3 seed, I think that's so valuable.
Because Atlanta at 4-3. You have Miami now at 4-4. There are a bunch of teams bunched up in the middle and a bunch of teams fighting for the lower seats as well.
I love the logjam because it makes things so much more compelling. And on the inside they go between Graham and Washburn. But to me, Washburn hasn't been doing enough to warrant the judges siding with him in this particular round. Again, though, Graham hasn't landed anything that you could say has done significant damage, so the fight still hangs in the balance. Graham is pressing the issue, coming forward with his jab and going downstairs. I like that left to the body by Graham. 3 lefts to the body, to the abdominal region of Washburn. That's what we call a workmanlike performance by Everan Graham, Justin.
We'll see these 2 in round 23.
Well, for Everan Graham, things haven't necessarily gone the best for him recently, but I think he snapped that losing streak here in Houston. Disclaimer, though.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 in the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Everan A.J. Graham. Dallas leads 20-18. Round 3 is in the 135-pound division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Lark. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Israel Rodriguez.
A quick for Dallas after 2 rounds. Everan Graham's 4-match skid is over. And here is Lark. In the red trunks for Dallas, Israel Rodriguez in the white trunks for Houston are round to watch here in the launch rounds.
Yeah, Lark has won 6 straight, as we mentioned at the top of the program. For Rodriguez, he's captured 2 straight wins, so somebody's winning streak will go bye-bye after this third round has come to a close. Nice right hand there by Lark. For Rodriguez, though, this is an opportunity. You want opportunities. You want to be able to showcase your ability, and it's lead by example. So is Rodriguez going to continue that momentum and try to stop the proverbial bleeding for Houston here against Dallas in the early going here in the launch rounds?
Lark moving forward with a 3-punch combo, though none of those punches were effective, nor did they land. Oh, man, met him in with a right uppercut, did Lark. Rodriguez walked right into that.
That was solid. He set up a beautiful trap, and for Lark, he comes all the way from Minneapolis, and that's not an easy place to grow up in. It's very cold up there up north, a lot colder than Chicago, so you know this guy is tough and battle-tested.
Good body shot there from Rodriguez. Moving his head off the line, getting that left hand on the mark.
I want to see some more feints there by Rodriguez. He just got clipped with a left hook.
Yeah, Rodriguez has no answer for that left hook right now against Malik Lark.
Just goes to show you the tools that Malik Lark has, and largely why he has rattled off 6 straight wins. Beautiful right hand there.
Coming over the top. Rodriguez trying to come over the top as well as things get ugly near the corner and along the ropes.
Justin, I'm impressed by Lark because he knows how to gauge his distance. He keeps Rodriguez at the end of his punches, thus allowing full impact on his shots.
He's showing good ring IQ as well. Whenever he's finding himself in trouble for a few moments, so far he's shown exactly the knowledge of exactly what to do in those predicaments. 25 seconds remain.
Lark is a student of the game. You could tell that he's very aware and has phenomenal situation awareness inside the ring.
Rodriguez has had some good connects here.
But the power punches have come out in abundance for Lark. He hasn't strung together combinations, but he's landed some big power shots every 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah, more impactful than the shots from Israel Rodriguez. We'll see if the judges saw the same thing we saw.
Beautiful left hook followed by a right that missed, but just a tall tale as to what we saw out of Lark for Dallas. Love that right hand. There's the punches at the end. Nice range and hammered away upon Rodriguez.
We have a split decision. Our first judge scores this round 10-9 for Malik Lark. Our second judge scores this round 10-9 for Israel Rodriguez. Our third judge scores this round 10-9 for your winner via split decision out of the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Malik Lark. Dallas leads 30-27. This round brought to you by Balance of Nature, proud health supplement partner of TCL. Round 4 is on the 140-pound division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Nadia Perry. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Samantha Ginthan.
I thought we were going to see some home cooking when I heard split decision in, as between Lark and Rodriguez, but Lark, decisively won that one, so at least the right fighter won the round.
So a 3-point lead after 3 rounds for Dallas. Here's Nadia Perry in the red trunks, Samantha Ginthan at 0-7 in the white trunks. And she kind of represents the type of season for her team. I mean, she was 9-2 in TCL action last season. Still searching for her first personal win this year at 0-7.
Well, that's why when you look at they're fighting one singular round at a time, it is such a thing that fighters have good nights and bad nights, and it's just under a microscope even that much more. It's magnified at a greater scale. So Ginthan's still a top quality fighter. She's led by Bobby Binton, their head coach. Also Aaron Navarro there assisting as well. That's a quality brain trust that Houston has. And you know Ginthan is in great shape and ready to go here tonight.
Aberrant Graham snapped a 4-round winless streak with his victory over Martel Washburn in round 2. He's standing by with Bubba Jenkins.
That's right, I'm here with Aberrant Graham, and I was talking to him a little bit earlier, and I'll ask him, what is it like to be one of the first guys out there for your team? You kind of like the benchmark setter, the pace setter for your team. How is that, and what is that like being that pressure maker?
I definitely feel the pressure, you know. Weeks before the fight, I know that my team is depending on me to set that pace and go out there and, you know, amp the team up so we can have a good night. So it's definitely, I feel the pressure a lot, but I try not to let that affect me. And tonight was probably the best night. You know, I went in there with a calm mindset. Normally I go in there trying to knock the guy out right away, and that has affected my performance. So I'm maturing a lot as the season is going.
Man, I can honestly say that I've seen that this year from you, and that's a great performance. Someone's hurt in there.
Yeah, Ginthan knocking down Nadia Perry, scoring a knockdown, and she could be seconds away from her first win of the season.
Well, there's that momentum. There is the fighter stepping up to the plate and taking the bull by the horns and is going after it. Ginthan with a big performance, a 10-8 round. This is massive for Houston.
Now could she get some more here? Perhaps close the gap even more for her team. 14 seconds to go. She has landed some impactful shots, obviously with the knockdown over the last minute or so.
What a stellar performance by Ginthan here for Houston.
She has punished Nadia Perry, who gets in a late punch after the bell. But Samantha Ginthan just took over in the second half of that round.
No need for the judges in this one. Look at that right hook. That's what did it. Hammering away upon Nadia Perry, unloading big shots. She's chasing after her, almost running. Hammering her with the right hook and the left hook, coming out in abundance. And there was the knockdown being ruled by a referee in charge.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision, with a score of 10-8. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Samantha Ginthan. Dallas leads 38-37. Round 5 is in the 147-pound division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Deontay Money Every Time Brown. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Todd Emanuel.
Well, we'll see if Houston can build upon that momentum that we just saw by Samantha Ginthan.
A pair of welterweights, Deontay Brown, Todd Emanuel, who you see in the white trunks, Brown in the red, with round number 5. Dallas wins the first 3 rounds, but Samantha Ginthan closes the gap with a 10-8 score. We will see those two women go back at it in round 12. So I tell you what, it's a chance to, you know, if she just was able to record another knockdown right here, okay, 3 points for her team. She has a chance to maybe do it again, record a knockdown in round 13, perhaps get a stoppage. So that's 5 points right there. And you see the potential of that happening based on the way that Perry was kind of turning her back away from Ginthan at one point.
Absolutely, and Ginthan is thinking more bonus points, as you alluded to, Justin. She got a 10-8 round. You know that she wants to be able to get a 10-7 and put that exclamation mark to be able to put everything in the past that has happened this season, especially as we are nearing the conclusion of the regular season for Houston. For Todd Manuel, this guy's fought the likes of Amantes Danones, Victor Ortiz, Elijah Garcia as well. So he's battle-tested in the professional ranks, and he's somebody that if you're Houston, Bobby Vinden and company, you can rely upon because Todd Manuel has always been the consummate pro.
He's 2-6 this season. He has not been in action, though, since May 16th. And this is the second meeting of 2025 between these two. Manuel lost to Deontay Brown on April 25th. Dallas won that head-to-head matchup, 229-223. We mentioned the hot start for the Enforcers this season. They began 4-1. Had a decent layoff, and then the big-time test happened at the beginning of this month where they took on an undefeated Philadelphia squad. And the smoke blew them out of the water, made a big statement.
It just goes to show you where you are. And if you're Dallas, you can't rest on your laurels, and you also can't necessarily think about that loss too much. You have to have selective memory, and you have to focus in on just getting better as we head towards the playoffs.
Nice counter right hand moments ago from Todd Manuel.
See, Todd Manuel's fighting aggressive. He popped Brown with that right hand.
Now he's just peppering him with it. Final 20 to go.
Manuel is literally, they broke him up. The referee broke him up, and he went right after Deontay Brown, wanting to engage even more.
Brown has lost 4 straight rounds. That last win was against Manuel on April 25th.
I think Manuel gets redemption here.
Think you might be right, Ray. We'll see these two again in the middle rounds, but we'll also see how the judges view this one.
And see, Manuel was following the blueprint from Ginthan. Beautiful right hook that landed upon Deontay Brown. Very aggressive as he was coming forward, slipping punches, attacking the body of Deontay Brown, and just coming with a ferocious intensity.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 in the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Todd Manuel.
Redemption for the Houston Hitmen's Todd Manuel.
47. This round brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. Round 6 is in the 154-pound division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Mauricio Bad News King. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Ray Alif Ali Talib.
On we go to round number 6. Junior middleweight action. Mauricio King, Reynard Talib in a tie score at 47-all.
Well, for Mauricio King, came up short against Paul Kroll by split decision in his last outing. You know that Kroll is a quality pro, so I'm sure that King learned a lot in that. Very close, could have gone either way, but now, if you're none other than Mauricio King, you got to get things back. It's even if you're Dallas. You cannot afford a loss, and nor do you want to lose to the only winless team in TCL.
In his career in the TCL, Mauricio King 7-2 against fighters with losing records. So he beats, I guess, the fighters that he's supposed to. Here he is against Ray Talib, though. 6-4 fighter in 2025. Both fighters trying to snap losing streaks. Talib has dropped 3 in a row. King trying to get back on track. Dropped 2 of his last 3.
Well, in prize fighting, Justin, there are levels. You have guys that are prospects. You have fighters that are contenders. You have fighters that are champions. Not everyone is going to be a world champion. That's why it is so coveted. And when you have someone like Mauricio King, he's a quality professional, but can he get over the hump and beat someone with a winning record? And if you're Houston, you're like, okay, we got some momentum here. We've won 2 in a row. Let's make it 3 straight.
Mauricio King getting low to the floor.
Trying to give Talib a different look. And for King, this would be a big win for him to be able to defeat a Talib Jr. who is above 500. This is a tactical matchup that we are witnessing, Justin.
Yeah, I feel like neither fighter wants to make the mistake because they know that they could pay for it on the other side as they punch with one another, and then King charges forward, just letting the hands go.
Well, as we said, it was a chess match, and then they both decided to swing for the fences. At any one moment, the action can get to a different level. This is a very close round between these two. But I'm not a judge for this one.
A lot of dancing near the end for Mauricio King. Yeah, I'm with you. This is going to be a close one to call. In a matter of style. It seemed like there's the introductory shot from Mauricio King that maybe had a higher connect rate, and then once he was able to come forward because of that shot, the punches on the inside, they were all over the place and inaccurate.
Yeah, he was smothering and also over the head of Talib Jr. and left himself exposed, but I think I'd give a slight edge to Mauricio King just based on his aggression.
We have a split decision. Our first judge scores this round 10-9 for Mauricio King. Our second judge scores this round 10-9 for Ray Talib. Our third judge scores this round 10-9 for your winner via split decision. Out of the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Ray Elif Ali Talib. Houston leads 57-56. Round 7 is in the 160-pound division. Out of the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Adolf the Wolf Stevens. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Rafael Ibach.
Houston with its first lead of the night, now up by 1, 57-56 as we start round 7 with Dallas's standout 160-pounder who you see in the red trunks, Adolf Stevens, an 11-1 mark on the year, going for his 20th career TCL victory here tonight against Rafael Ibach.
Well, if you're head coach Tony Mack of the Dallas Enforcers, now you look at Stevens as to say, okay, now we're putting it on your shoulders. He's had a tremendous season thus far, and can he follow it up and handle business against Ibach?
Let's learn more about Stevens, who's won 11 straight, dating back to last season. MMA wrestling background.
Well, also, you know, when it comes to what he does, I mean, he's very well versed in combat sports. You're seeing he was a state champion, All-American, and it's a mentality standpoint that we're seeing from Stevens. So he knows what it's like to be in this team concept, but also to lead by example with his performances.
Yeah, I misspoke. I said he had 11 straight. He did until he was upset by Philly's Damian Tinarello back on June the 6th. So that was his second ever loss in the TCL.
Well, for Stevens coming out being more assertive. Beautiful left that connected upon Ibach.
Another big right hand from Stevens. These are some wide throws, but they're landing, Ray.
Well, they're both mixing it up here, and I like how for Houston, they have this burst of energy. They got some momentum, but Stevens is trying to take them out of it. And these guys being middleweights, boy, are they massive. I would not want to be a middleweight against these two. What a fight so far here in round number 7.
This is some good action in round 7.
This is the kind of fight that has high volume, high contact. You're going to feel those bruises and those welts in the morning. Double left that landed by Stevens. Look at Stevens. As soon as the referee separates him, he wants to go right after his adversary.
Right back in the middle. Stevens able to have his way as Ibach's head is just down to the floor.
But as we said, Justin, when it comes to in-state rivalry matchups, essentially you throw the records out the window because it is state pride that's on the line.
Final 5 seconds. This will be a 2-round matchup between Ibach and Stevens. And off Stevens saying more to come to his opponent. That'll happen in round 19.
Stevens connected with the beautiful right hook at the end, but we're seeing, look at that, the right hook by Stevens. Ibach staying in the pocket, not going away. There's a left that grazed Ibach. Stevens coming forward, hyper aggressive. We'll see if he got the W. I believe it should go in the way of Dallas.
We have a split decision. Our first judge scores this round 10-9 for Adolph Stevens. Our second judge scores this round 10-9 for Rafael Ibach. Our third judge scores the round 10-9 for your winner via split decision. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Rafael Ibach. Houston leads 67-65. Round 8 is in the heavyweight division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Kenyon Walker. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, he is the WBA Latino champion, Nagi Dominican Dynamite Aguilera.
Right, let's just call it as it is and not taking away anything from Rafael Ibach, who's a 17-6 fighter in regular boxing. He's been in with some tough opponents in traditional boxing, but that round was not a split decision, and it certainly was not in the favor of Ibach.
Yeah, that's home cooking. And you know what? If you're Houston, you got to be like, listen, we haven't gotten breaks all season. It's okay for us to at least get one break here. I don't necessarily agree with it. No, Nagi Aguilera going right on the offensive.
Yeah, speaking of breaks, Aguilera beating the brakes off Kenyon Walker. Can Aguilera add to Houston's lead here?
This would be massive for the Houston Hitmen, who are looking for their first win of the season, with Nagi Aguilera looking to conclude the launch rounds with a high note.
Oh, that right hand had bad intentions all over it, but he came up with an air ball.
Aguilera's been in there against some heavy hitters. Frank Sanchez, also Tomas Ibach, Dominic Brazil, Gerald Washington, former world champions and world title challengers, so he's certainly battle-tested. Also being a Latino champion as well.
Aguilera with some early mojo in the first half of this round. Bringing some excitement into the ring for round number 8 and concluding the launch round phase. And now Walker utilizing the jab.
Well, Bobby Ben and Aaron Navarro, they are the trainers of Regis Prograis, former world champion. So they have been in there in some critical moments at the highest level of professional prize fighting. Their experience is invaluable to Houston, and it's being showcased here with their ability. They lost 3 in a row, they showed composure, and now they have rattled off 4 straight W's, looking to make it 5 straight with Aguilera.
A minute to go. Left hand pumped into the body by Nagi Aguilera. Good jab as well, comes back with a left hook. This is some good work from Nagi Aguilera here.
When Bubba can attest to this, if you are Tony Mack, the head coach of the Dallas Enforcers, you got to be thinking this is the match within the match in the sense of do not give up bonus points. It was clear that Aguilera is winning this round. So if you're Kenyon Walker, remain on your feet, reassess, and then come out and look terrific in your next performance, because right now, barring anything significant, you're going to lose this round hands down, but make it 10-9, not 10-8.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks to be there. He's got to do a good job of not giving up the bonus points. And that's everything you're looking for. Oh, big punch right there.
Good
That's
exchange.
what you're looking for in your teammate, to give their all and not give up nothing to opponents.
Yeah, Bubba, you know quite well being a wrestler yourself.
Absolutely. It's about the bonus points.
Well, this round concludes as we see some of the work that Aguilera did right from the start of round number 8.
One for Kenyon Walker, though, I give him credit. He weathered the storm by Nagi Aguilera, who was throwing some big punches and hammered away upon him, but he remained upright.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 in the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Nagi Dominican Dynamite Aguilera. Fight fans, we are at our first intermission. Current score, the Houston Hitmen 77, the Dallas Enforcers 74. We'd like to thank our sponsors.
77-74 after 8 rounds. Houston in front. They took the final 5 rounds, highlighted by a round 4 extra point gain from Samantha Ginthan. She gets in the win column for the first time in 2025, and Houston has a 3-point lead as we head to the middle rounds at Red Owl Arena. Still plenty of action to come as part of our Saturday night doubleheader in Texas.
Hey, Dr. Phil here. My network, Merit TV, has it all.
Now, let me blow your mind.
Merit TV's got the news that
The
matters.
selection of a new pope.
Entertainment you crave.
Busted.
Everybody in good mood today?
And live events
Surprise. What am I, chopped liver?
with serious punch.
Big shot! Join us on Dr. Phil's Merit TV, free and accessible on multiple platforms.
I was drinking every day.
I was hooked on oxys.
My husband turned into someone I didn't recognize.
The addiction crisis. Worse than a pandemic, we have a growing epidemic. There are approximately 20 alcohol and drug-related deaths per hour every single day. Addiction is a disease. Like any other disease, it may have serious harmful effects and may lead to death if left untreated.
Introducing Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and rediscovery. We understand the unique challenges men face in their journey to recovery. Set on 38 private acres, our state-of-the-art facility offers a safe, supportive environment for healing and growth. Our team of dedicated professionals specializes in evidence-based treatment, providing our patients with the tools to overcome addiction and achieve long-term sobriety. If you or a loved one needs to make a change, call us today at 386-423-4540 or visit us online at serenityspringsrecovery.com and reclaim your life.
TCL Team Boxing League is brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. Well, the Houston Hitmen, winless on the season, have taken the last 5 rounds. They took the last 5 rounds to close out the launch round version of our head-to-head matchup between Dallas and Houston. Back here in our studios, Justin Shackle, Ray Flores with you. Saw some split decisions there, some spotty judging to say the least, but Samantha Ginthan giving Houston some extra points. Bottom line, if you get some breaks as a winless team, all the power to you. You have to try and maintain that momentum in a season where you haven't had much to celebrate.
Justin, coming into this matchup, it was Houston that was dealing with a ton of adversity. They're back against the wall. But now Houston, having won 5 in a row, has put Dallas in a position where they have to rise to the challenge. They're dealing with adversity as we head into the middle rounds, but the launch rounds were very compelling.
Yeah, this is momentum that Dallas had no business giving Houston. As we take a look at some of the launch round highlights presented by the Balance of Nature, we go back to round number 3. And again, this was a close round. It was ruled a split decision between Malik Lark and Israel Rodriguez. There was some good action here. And Malik Lark coming away because he had the more punishing shots.
Well, he's won 7 straight. Beautiful right hand, keeping Rodriguez at the end of his punches.
And then here in round 4, Samantha Ginthan trying to get in the win column this entire season after picking up 9 last year. She had a left hand that changed the complexion of this round.
Well, we don't give away the 3 stars of the night, but already the first star of the night is for the Houston Hitmen and Samantha Ginthan with that performance.
Let's take a look at the middle round fight card. Rounds 9 through 16 coming up in a matter of moments. We'll have a rematch of round 1 between Michaela Rampage and Melissa Parker. Rampage took that for Dallas, but as we take a look at some other matchups to watch, I'm looking at round 10, Ray. You have Jack Sambiaku, who's been a standout for Dallas, going up against Nelson Hampton, who has taken some bumps along this with this Houston Hitman, but he has Sambiaku's number from earlier in the season.
He does. So Sambiaku has won 6 in a row, trying to make it 7 straight, but he's doing it because he's got momentum, but also he's thinking about redemption against Nelson Hampton. Hampton's looking to say, listen, I beat you once, I'll beat you again, and I'll end your win streak here in the middle rounds. We'll find out what happens in round 10.
Yeah, it was a nice victory to get for Hampton in his TCL debut. We will see what happens in the rematch in round 10. First up, it is the start of the middle rounds. Round number 9 coming up. We go back inside Red Owl Arena with Patrick Creighton.
Right now, Houston leads Dallas 77-74. Houston leads Dallas 77-74 as we enter the middle rounds. In the round number 9, a 126-pound division. Out of the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Michaela Rampage. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Melissa Parker.
Can Rampage and Dallas answer back to start the middle rounds?
Well, if you are head coach of the Dallas Enforcers, Tony Mack, you got to look and say this is the quality start that we want, or the leadoff fighter of the middle rounds with Michaela Rampage. What a welcome addition she's been to the Dallas Enforcers, looking outstanding in the first round.
If she could get a 2-round victory in her TCL debut against a solid featherweight in Melissa Parker, this is an added weapon for this Dallas team getting ready for the postseason. But Parker coming through with a 2-punch combo that lands.
Well, for Parker, she's giving up 7 inches to Michaela Rampage. And I'm sure over the course of the launch rounds, once her round ended, she thought about ways to be able to handle that height disparity, and she's doing a better job of getting in on the inside against Rampage.
There's been a nice adjustment from Parker. We'll see if it can continue over the last 2 minutes of round number 9.
Like the body punching by Melissa Parker as well. It's one of those things that you don't want to focus on the head necessarily. The body will not move.
Good headshots from Parker. That jab from Rampage just slowing down.
Well, for Rampage, she's got to get back to, as they say in prize fighting, use your jab, keep your opponent at the end of that jab at all costs.
What was so effective for Rampage in round number 1, she was dealing some sharp jabs, but also just peppering Parker as she tried to close the gap. It wasn't happening for her. We have not seen that in the 9th round.
No, it's been a quality adjustment that we are witnessing by Melissa Parker. But if you're Michaela Rampage, you got to find a way to swing things back in your favor, because this is critical, because a 3-point advantage for Houston could very well get to being a 4-point lead for Houston.
The veteran gamesmanship from the veteran Parker, holding the right hand of Rampage as she snuck in a left hook. If the ref's not going to see it or call it, you get away with it.
Yeah, you want to go until, and if it happens and they admonish you, then you say sorry. Use those veteran-like tactics, as you alluded to.
Yeah, you beg for forgiveness after.
Exactly. But right now, Rampage has not thrown out. I'm so surprised, because she looks so good in the first round, using her jab, using the 1-2, the jab followed by the right hand, and the jab, I haven't seen it much, if ever, in this 9th round.
Yeah, and she's being punished for it. This is a good bounce back for Parker, but Rampage just got away from the game plan.
Not necessarily the same, but when it comes to Michaela Rampage, she reminds me of Sebastian Fundora, having that height disparity, and sometimes Fundora likes to fight in the inside, much like Rampage did, but it might have cost her the round.
Taking a look at the action from the 9th round, as Parker adjusted nicely.
Very good job to be able to bob and weave and, close the distance, attack the body, the right hook upstairs, the variation of punching.
This round, by unanimous decision, by the score of 10-9, in the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Melissa Parker. Houston leads 87-83. This round brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round 10 is in the 135-pound division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Jack Sambiaku. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, he is the former ABO and current Texas champion, Nelson Hot Hands Hampton.
6 straight rounds won by the Houston Hitmen as we get going for round number 10. 135-pounders, Jack Sambiaku at 7-1. Nelson Hampton coming in at 2-6. Bubba, Dallas needs to make a move here, plain and simple.
Yeah, they need to make a move, but they got the right guy in it to make the moves. Jack Sambiaku's been a pillar for them. And like you guys were speaking about earlier, this is the only guy that's beaten him. So he came out with the right mindset, came out strong, heavy jab to the midsection, and just stayed on the front foot, and he's been that way since he started.
Bubba, how impressed are you by watching Houston? They lost 3 in a row, but with Bobby Ben and Aaron Navarro, they were able to circle the wagons, keep their team composed, and they have been on a tremendous run, having won 6 straight.
I can't say I was easily impressed, but they definitely showed some grit gap. They showed some pride. They showed some, the same old Houston coming out and losing the first 3 rounds. All right, here we go. And then boom, they bounced back and hit 5 straight, and now we got us a fight. They bounced back and showed us the heart of a team that's fighting another team from in the area. It's a little bit of a rivalry. Let's get it, guys.
Yeah, earlier in this season, the Texas teams, they were all fighting one another. Then they spread out, fought non-division opponents, and now they're kind of circling back here. So they bookended the rivalries along this TCL season. And for the Houston Hitmen, like we've been talking about, a chance to play spoiler, a chance to show the heart of a boxing team and avoid a winless season.
Bubba, when you're in conference, how much do you get the best of your opponents? Because I feel like you know your opponent so well that you're going to get the very best out of the other.
Yeah, you really try to leave a lasting impression, but you try to give them everything. You try to let them know, hey, if I'm going to see you often, if I'm going to see you more than I'm going to see anybody else because you're in my division, I'm going to leave a lasting impression. That way you have something to remember when I leave this ring, and you have something to recall when we're about to get back in there again. So that's what you can see. That, and what I'm watching here is Hampton has gained a little confidence, you know. Sam was on him earlier, and then he, landed a big right hand, and the confidence grew, and it became much harder for Dallas.
Good movement by Sambiaku, avoiding those punches on defense. It has been a highly successful season for the African native. But again, Hampton got his number in late April. He's trying to do it again here. These two aren't finished for the night. They'll meet again in round 17 to open up the money rounds. That was a good scrap, and it did not look like a 7-1 fighter against a 2-6 fighter.
No, not at all. And we mentioned about when you're in conference, divisional rivals, these two styles make fights. They're meant for each other. Sambiaku had success early, but then it was Nelson Hampton turning up the heat in the second half of the 10th round. Such a compelling matchup, which is why it was our middle round to watch. We're seeing the combination there.
Split decision. Our first judge scores the round 10-9 for Jack Sambiaku. Our second judge scores the round 10-9 for Nelson Hampton. Our third judge scores the round 10-9 for your winner via split decision. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Nelson Hot Hands Hampton.
Well, Nelson Hampton was able to control the second half of the round, and that's what the judges remembered most, and it punctuated a second straight win for him over Jack Sambiaku.
Is in the 135-pound division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Malik Lark. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Israel Rodriguez.
Check out the look on Israel Rodriguez's face. He does not want to drop the baton here. 7 straight rounds won by Houston, and Malik Lark back in the ring. The last time he was there, that's when Dallas won a round.
Well, it has been, as you pointed out, a surge for the Houston Hitmen. Red Arena is rocking right now here in Houston for the first time in a long time. So if you're Bobby Ben and company, you want to keep pushing the pace and put the pedal to the metal. And for Israel Rodriguez, you want to even up the score against Malik Lark. Meantime, for Dallas, if you're Tony Mack, you got to be thinking, you got us a win before. Now we need you now more than ever. We're down by 5 here.
Just going back to round number 10, that was a good split decision, I think, that both of us can agree with, where that could have gone either way. It's Hampton coming away with the second win in as many meetings with Sambiaku. And again, we're going to see it in the money rounds a third time here in 2025.
Well, and we're seeing more urgency that's being displayed by Israel Rodriguez here in this 11th round, because he understands he can't be complacent and wait for the openings, because Lark is not going to give him that.
Lark gets in a right hand, gets out of the way. I am curious how much the success of his teammates is fueling Rodriguez here. You mentioned, you used the word urgency. That has to be part of the equation. And that's the difference between regular boxing and the TCL concept.
When if you're Dallas, if you lose to the Houston Hitmen, then you put yourself and you're looking at potentially matching up against Las Vegas or Philadelphia instead of being an upper echelon team as we head towards the playoffs.
There you see the season records for both fighters in their second and final round against one another this evening.
Well, prior to round 3, it was Rodriguez who had won 2 in a row, but Lark stopped that. And Lark has won 7 consecutive matches. But look at the body punching by Rodriguez.
Aggression personified by Israel Rodriguez here in this second meeting with Lark tonight.
And Justin, I think it's clear from the judges' standpoint that they favor pure aggression. Beautiful right hand, keeping Rodriguez at the end of his shot.
Another right hand gets in from Malik Lark.
That's his calling card, that right hand with full power and velocity behind his shots.
But I'm with you from your previous comment. Even if you're looking the part with the aggression, you might catch the judge's attention. Oh, big left hand. That rocked back Rodriguez. Can Lark compound that with more punishing shots as we close things out in round number 11? He bloodied the face of Israel Rodriguez. Marked it up.
I like how Lark was the aggressor, but then he decided to be more of a counter puncher. The jab followed by the right hand, that left hook bang, carving up the face of Israel Rodriguez. And look at this, Rodriguez coming forward and Lark making him
the
pay.
winner of this round via unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 out of the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Malik Lark.
That's a big
Houston
win
leads
for Dallas.
106-102. This round brought to you by Balance of Nature, proud health supplement partner of TCL. Round number 11 is in the 140-pound. 12 is in the 140-pound division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Nadia Perry. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Samantha Ginthan.
Ginthan now is in the same position that she was in, that she entered, with Lark getting the win over Rodriguez. Can Ginthan not only get the win against Nadia Perry, but come out with more bonus points?
And can she get more in round number 12 and have herself a memorable night at Red Owl Arena?
She's timing Perry with that left. I think Perry's a bit reluctant to extend on her jab because she knows that that left is coming at her.
Right, Perry continues to move her head at a rising rate, and still Ginthan finding the perfect landing spot for the left.
Well, it's the timing. It's Ginthan almost anticipating where the head of Perry's going to be, and she pops her almost as she moves her head on the line.
That left landing at will.
It's a sledgehammer. And Ginthan just continues to go back to the well, and I like the body shot there on the abdominal region of Perry.
This is the recipe to follow for the final 2 minutes. Continuing to use that left, walk right in.
If you're Nadia Perry, I'd like to see her try to change it up, because right now, I don't think she's fully committed to her jab. Try to tie up Ginthan, and then as you separate, then you throw punches. Try to disrupt the rhythm of Samantha Ginthan, because she is on a roll and is looking stellar here tonight.
Another left coming clean from Samantha Ginthan. Oh my goodness. That left hand followed by the right. Samantha Ginthan in a groove in round number 12. And she has over a minute to go.
And she's walking down Nadia Perry. It's clear that she doesn't respect the power of the Dallas Enforcers, Nadia Perry, and it's starting to be extremely problematic for Nadia Perry. Because Ginthan just wants right after her, and she's thinking bonus points, bonus points. Perry coming forward, trying to throw that right hand, but Ginthan still very much assertive. I think Ginthan doesn't want to put herself in a precarious position here.
There's a chance, though, to let it all go. I mean, how poor of a position could you put yourself in where you feel like you might not recover? And there's a chance to go for broke here. Look, she's fighting, I'm not.
Very much, I agree.
But from what we've seen There's room to take some chances if you're Samantha Ginthan.
A left that backs up Perry again. Two outstanding performances by the Houston Hitmen's Samantha Ginthan. Perry throwing, but look at Ginthan. Double jab followed by the left. Backing up Nadia Perry, that
The
left
winner of
hammering
this
away.
round, by unanimous decision, by the score of 10-9, out of the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Samantha Ginthan. Houston leads 116-111. Round 13 is in the 147-pound division. Out of the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Deontay Money Every Time Brown. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Todd Emanuel.
3 points for Samantha Ginthan on the evening, Justin.
Early front runner for one of the stars of the night as she picks up her first 2 wins of 2025. This is a rematch of round number 5 in the launch rounds. Todd Emanuel earned a unanimous decision over Deontay Brown.
Well, at the moment, Tony Mack and the Dallas Enforcers, they have to have some soul searching because we are now into round 13, the second half of this matchup. So time is as of the essence. You can't afford to be giving away many more rounds because you are facing an uphill climb here.
Houston has won 8 of the last 9 rounds here over Dallas.
After losing the first 3, and it looked like, okay, the same song and dance and story was going to be the case for the Houston Hitmen, but not to be the case thus far. I do like how Deontay Brown is coming out relaxed and fluid and using his jab, double jab, getting out of the way. Focus on the fundamentals. Make Todd Emanuel come to you and try to hammer you. Also, emotions are running high as well. You see Todd Emanuel coming forward. He's taking chances, gambling. He got popped with a couple of shots, but he's somebody. He's a veteran who can turn it around. And if you're Deontay Brown, you want to make him pay when he takes those chances.
Emanuel 9 years older than Deontay Brown. A welterweight out of Rayne, Louisiana. Each fighter in their second seasons here in the league.
Beautiful straight left by Deontay Brown.
Nice counter right thrown by Brown as well.
The balance of Deontay Brown is something that I really enjoy. He's never really off balance when he throws a punch, meaning you get proper leverage behind your punches, thus allowing for maximum impact. Also, adjustment that we saw by Deontay Brown. Todd Emanuel, he had his number in the previous outing, but Deontay Brown has adjusted very nicely.
Last 25 seconds to go in the 13th round.
And also, when you're Dallas, you got to be looking collectively as a team. Okay, who's going to step up here? And Deontay Brown is saying, hey, I'm going to be that fighter.
If you look toward the second half of the middle rounds here, Brown in action now. In the on-deck circles, Jordan Jackson. But then you have some good talent at cruiserweight and heavyweight with Hot Sauce Henderson and Patrick Mailotto waiting in the rings for rounds 15 and 16, respectively. Dallas does need to make a move. Currently down by 5. Could be more after this decision. We'll see. Although Brown looked to be in control.
But again, we're not judges, so, and the judging has been a bit erratic at times, I'd say.
We have a split decision. Our first judge scores the round 10-9, for Deontay Brown. Our second judge scores the round 10-9 for Todd Emanuel. Our third judge scores the round 10-9 for your winner via split decision out of the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Deontay Money Every Time Brown. Houston leads 125-121. This round brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. Round 14 is in the 168-pound division. Fighting out of the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, former Golden Gloves champion Chicago, Jordan Action Jackson. Fighting out of the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Darian Heron.
Start of round 14, Jackson and Heron. Houston's won 8 of the last 10 rounds. Right in the middle of it was Reynard Talib Jr.'s win over Mauricio King, and Bubba Jenkins is standing by with Talib.
Let's go, Honcho! That's right. I'm here with Ray Talib. Listen, I was talking to you earlier about how you can possibly stay calm in such a wild crowd. I heard the crowd getting excited earlier. They're Hitman, Hitman. How do you stay calm when not only a wild crowd, but a wild opponent?
Well, we know that Dallas is one of the better teams in the league, and most of our fights this season has been away. So we wanted to give the crowd something to really cheer for and be proud of Houston for. So this is only our second home fight. We already had the mission in our mind. We already knew what we came here to do, and we wanted to show that we could beat one of the best teams in the league. So we already had the game plan, and we were focused already for tonight.
Absolutely. You guys are upset-minded, and you're pulling that off. How are you going to do that for the rest of the night? How do you keep that steam going?
All we got to do is keep doing what we're doing. Like I tell them all the time, it's just another day in the office, man. We do this.
All right, you heard it from Ali. We do this. Back to you guys with the action.
You know, Ray, early on in the TCL season, one of the things that stood out with Houston before teams were able to really make a move and separate themselves was that this was, in terms of rosters, one of the more close-knit groups. They feel like they train together. They're all there in the Main Street gym in Houston. You talk about the guidance of Bobby Benton there. He has a lot in common with a lot of these fighters on the roster. I'm sure when they were last in action on June 6th, they fell to San Antonio. Between then and now, they have thought a lot about this Dallas squad and this moment right now.
Well, they certainly have a chip on their shoulder, and they want to prove to everybody watching around the world on Merit TV why they are still among and a top quality franchise. You look at a record, and records can be deceptive at times because this Houston team is better than what their record indicates, and they're showcasing it tonight against one of the better teams in the league, against an in-state rival. So there's a lot on the line for Houston, even though they're going to be watching the playoffs at home. There's pride on the line, and they are demonstrating that here in abundance. Right now you got Jordan Jackson, though, who is a Chicago Golden Gloves champion. I think it's a close round, though, as we heard the interview, but both men have not necessarily been conclusive with landing something that can hurt the other.
It's been obvious at this point through the first 13 rounds, judges will award effective aggression. Can one fighter stand out from the other over the final 15 seconds? That might be all that is needed here.
Well, it's what the judges remember, especially it's in their memory bank because it's just what they saw, and they got to turn in their scorecard. So it could be those final 30 to 45 seconds could sway them saying, okay, I thought fighter A or fighter B was more aggressive throughout the entirety of the round, even though that might not have been the case. It's what they remember the most.
What's interesting, Ray, file this one away because Jackson and Heron will meet in round 24. We'll see where we're at the start of round 24 with the scoring, but Dallas intends on making it much closer than it already is.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9, out of the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Jordan Action Jackson. Houston leads 134-131. This round brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. Round 15 is in the 199-pound division. Out of the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, former world title challenger, Calvin Hot Sauce Henderson. Out of the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Darnell Pierce.
Well, right now, Houston is facing some mini adversity because they have dropped 2 in a row. Their lead has been cut to 3. And now you have Calvin Henderson, a former world title challenger who has been inside the ring against the likes of David Morrell. Can he make it 3 straight for the Dallas Enforcers, who appear to have gathered some momentum for the first time since the opening launch rounds, Justin?
Hot Sauce Henderson, 19-2-1 record in regular boxing, 13 knockouts there. Here, this season in TCL action, 4-5, though he's won 3 in a row. Henderson in the red trunks. Pierce made his TCL debut a couple of weeks ago on June 6th, lost to Adrian Taylor.
If you're Darnell Pierce, he's waiting, almost inviting Henderson to come forward to try to counter him with that counter left hand. As he unloaded right on the jaw.
Yeah, that left hand smothered. Oh, speaking of smother and smashing, Hot Sauce Henderson puts down Darnell Pierce.
Momentum for the Dallas Enforcers. It continues. What a swing. Calvin Henderson. Can he make it a 10-7?
We have over a half a round to go for Calvin Henderson. A great chance to close the gap, cut the deficit here against Houston. Pierce says he slipped. I think he just had wobbly legs, never really recovered from that knockdown, and that's gonna be it. It's gonna be a 10-7 round for Hot Sauce Henderson.
And we are even now. Oh my goodness. Could very well be an injury potentially for Darnell Pierce, but nonetheless, it's 10-7 for the former world title challenger in Calvin Henderson.
Pierce is gonna take a seat on the stool. I think you're right, maybe the knee buckled on the ring, or on the mat rather. But you talk about buckling legs, that shot will do it every time.
Well, and also, you know, you hate to say it, but it's true. The referee says you must defend yourself intelligently at all times. If it appears that you're in peril and you cannot defend yourself and you're having issues, then the referee has full discretion to wave it off, which is exactly what he did, because it's about the safety of the fighter.
A good stop there for the referee. And yeah, there's an injury, a left leg injury here for Darnell Pierce. And it was already going to be the case because of the stoppage, Ray, as we listen to Patrick Creighton.
At 1 minute and 45 seconds for the winner via TKO in the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Calvin Hot Sauce Henderson. We are tied at 141. Round 16 is in the heavyweight division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Patrick Magic Mailata. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Trevorris the Bear Barnes.
Just to go back to the conclusion of round 15, Ray, Henderson gets the 10-7 win. Pierce gets injured. Both reasons automatically wipe out their second round later tonight. So not only do you have now a tie score in the overall head-to-head matchup, but there is a point waiting for Dallas in the money rounds as well as we begin round 16.
Well, Bubba, I know that you're there ringside. What are you paying attention to when it comes to Dallas? They now have momentum. They were down by 5. Now it's even. You could tell that their search for the playoffs is certainly very much forefront of their mind.
Absolutely, but it's not Dallas who I'm paying attention to. Oh, big punch right there by Houston, but it is Houston, like I was saying, who I am paying attention to because, you know, like he was saying right just before we got into that break, the crowd was in it. The crowd was up and chanting and getting all excited, and then, boom, that injury right there, and then the score changing made it look like the feeling of, oh, my goodness, the same old Houston, there they go again, losing a lead, but you know, this is a really tough opponent right here, Malata and Travaris Barnes, and they're going to be swinging for the fences, trying to change the outcome of this fight right now.
Travaris Barnes trying to get Houston the lead once again. They led for 9 straight rounds before one punch seemingly erased the deficit for Dallas. And that's thanks to Calvin Hot Sauce Henderson.
Bubba Barnes is coming out, really trying to put on a show for the fans there at Red Owl Arena.
Absolutely, and he hits hard. You know, Travaris Barnes is a really good fighter for Houston and has been all year. I've seen him get a couple knockouts earlier where he's put a guy flat on his face with a beautiful uppercut, and Patrick Malata was a heavy hitter. So to see them go back and forth is something this Houston crowd is definitely ready for.
Over the first 15 rounds, gentlemen, we've grown accustomed to the judges rewarding the aggression. Well, if you're going to continue that trend here, Travaris Barnes might be running away with this round in the 16th.
When the Houston bench is just on their feet.
And the Houston bench, and Dallas is into it as well. Everybody here in this Texas Roadhouse is getting up. It's definitely a good show.
There you see the enforcers trying to cheer on Patrick Malata, who's come up time and time again for this squad, 8-2 this season.
Bubba, this is an old school Texas showdown with so much, including pride on the line.
So much on the line, including seeding in the playoffs. But Travaris Barnes just went for that beautiful uppercut that he's known for and got hooked with a nice left hook, even though Malata didn't follow it up. This fight is beautiful, and I would hate to be a judge when it comes to these heavy swinging 3-minute round for pound type of fighters.
Time winding down, and we are so sorry to see the seconds go. That was an entertaining round at number 16 to close out the middle round portion, and we will see who comes away with the victory.
It's like knock 'em, sock 'em robots between these two. Well, Barnes unloading. Look at that left, and credit to Malata for being able to absorb it. What a chin that he has. But Barnes was just stepping up big time.
By unanimous decision, by the score of 10-9, in the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Travaris, the Bear, Barnes. At our second intermission, Houston leads 151 to 150. We'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight. Climax, Moonshine, Fire.
Well, Dallas needs a win to improve its playoff seeding. Houston has plans, though, of its own to try and avoid another loss here tonight. The Houston Hitmen impressing over the first 16 rounds. Lost their footing for a moment, but they've regained the lead. They're up by 1 as we head to the money rounds next. Stay tuned.
Dr. Phil's Mirror TV, it's defining the story.
Our country is going to be based on merit again.
From the front lines of the inauguration to the heart of the issues, Dr. Phil, trusted, accomplished, always when it matters.
Balance of nature, it's so simple. It's amazing getting the fruits and vegetables ingredients in 3 red and 3 green capsules.
I take Balance of Nature. I think it's convenient. I can do little capsules in the morning, and I'm off to work, you know.
Balance of Nature. It's so easy to do. I feel great, and who doesn't want to feel great?
Get 35 your first set as a preferred customer. Claim this offer by using discount code.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% US-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
When there's a dispute, I prefer to talk it out. These athletes, well, they prefer a more physical method. Watch TCL Team Boxing League weekends on Merit TV. When there's a dispute, I prefer to talk it out. These athletes, well, they prefer a more physical method. Watch TCL Team Boxing League weekends on Merit TV.
Fans, you have the chance to visit a TCL Team Boxing League event live and in person. Just scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to purchase tickets. Next week, we head back to the desert in Arizona as the Atlanta Attack take on the LA Elite, and then we see the Las Vegas Hustle clash with the hometown Phoenix Fury. Then on Sunday, another exciting doubleheader. We head back to Newtown Athletic Club in Pennsylvania to watch a matchup full of playoff implications. The Philadelphia Smoke play host to the NYC Attitude. Then it's the San Antonio Snipers taking on the Boston Butchers. You can see all the action live or catch it on Merit TV. We welcome you back into our Merit studios. Justin Shackle and Ray Flores with you. Houston has a 1-point lead, 151-150 as we get set for the money rounds. We were wondering if Houston could continue that momentum from the launch to the middle. They did more than that, and I thought they did a nice job answering back in the face of adversity.
They certainly did, and they looked stellar. But you know what? For Dallas, I mean, Calvin Henderson, the former world title challenger, coming up big, getting the TKO victory, finishing off Darnell Pierce. So both teams have had moments where they have a lot of momentum, energy, and then the other team takes it right back. That's why these money rounds are going to be so compelling. And my goodness, we're going to see, can Dallas improve their playoff position, or can Houston get the first win of their campaign here this season?
Before we get to the money round, let's take a look at the middle round highlights for you, presented by the Balance of Nature. Round number 12, lost in the excitement of Hot Sauce Henderson's stoppage. Samantha Ginthan going 2 for 2 tonight. She's a front-runner to be star of the night. That left hand might be the top star of the night.
No question about it. She hammered away upon Nadia Perry every which way, dominating both rounds, especially that 12th round in the middle rounds. Samantha Ginthan looked outstanding.
And then round 15, like we mentioned, Calvin Hot Sauce Henderson. One punch, and down goes Darnell Pierce. He never really recovered.
Well, Henderson, there's a reason why he's a former world title challenger, showcasing that power, and he went ahead and hammered away upon Darnell Pierce, and Pierce could not continue. TKO win. That's a 10-7 in favor of Calvin Henderson.
Saw the ugly knee buckle by Darnell Pierce at the very end as well. So that's a 10-7 round for Henderson. Round 20 automatically waved off. It'll be a point for Dallas, but these two teams, they have both a lot of momentum going into these money rounds as we take a look there at the money round launch card, the money round card here to the final 8 rounds. And what we saw in round 16, very special. Patrick Mailata going up against Travaris Barnes. Those are two fighters who are no rookies. They're not in their first seasons, yet they had never matched up with one another ahead of tonight. That first meeting leaves us eager for another round, and we're going to get it here shortly in the money rounds.
And that's why that is my money round to watch. Round number 21 between Patrick Mailata and Travaris Barnes. Barnes was hammered away upon Mailata, and Mailata showcased a tremendous chin, was able to throw some punches, but Barnes was able to take over. But make no mistake about it, Mailata knows that there's so much on the line, and I expect the best version of Patrick Mailata against Trevorris Barnes. And for Barnes, he wants to be able to send home the hometown fans at Red Owl Arena with the victory and capture that first W for the Houston Hitmen.
Dallas has a chance to solidify its playoff seeding. Houston is trying to avoid going winless heading into its final regular season matchup. It'll all be decided over the next 8 rounds, the final 8 rounds. It's the money rounds, and here's Patrick Creighton.
We head to the money rounds with Houston leading Dallas 151-150. Round 17 is in the 135-pound division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Jack Sambiaku. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, former EBO and current Texas champion, Nelson Hot Hands Hampton.
Well, Justin, can this win streak continue for Nelson Hampton over Sambiaku? He's won 2 in a row. Or can Sambiaku stop that outstanding dominance that we've seen by Nelson Hampton?
Is Nelson Hampton an authentic kryptonite for the standout first season TCLer Jack Sambiaku?
Well, listen, I'm a Chicago Bears fan of the Packers. The Green Bay Packers beat the Chicago Bears 10 straight, and they finally got a win earlier in the year with Caleb Williams and company. So if you're Sambiaku, he can do exactly that against Nelson Hampton when a team needs him the most in the Dallas Enforcers.
Well, Nelson Hampton, the confidence ever growing with Sambiaku in front of him. There's so much dramatic irony in all that, just based on the seasons that these two have had against other opponents.
When Sambiaku in that previous round did so well in the first half of the round, and then Hampton came on in the second half of the round with the aggression. He's known as hot hands, and we're seeing his hand speed giving some issues to Sambiaku.
Sambiaku answering back. Quality combination moments ago. Sticks that jab out in front of Hampton. Oh, there's a knockdown! Sambiaku answers back.
Well, there is the moment he was looking for, and he seized it.
Jack Sambiaku defeated by Nelson Hampton earlier tonight. He could negate that with plenty of time to go in round number 17. And it's all Sambiaku to start off the money rounds. He has Hampton along the ropes and continues to go to work on Nelson Hampton. Sambiaku trying to close the show, get his team some stoppage points, and there it is. Sambiaku with a 10-7 round. A big momentum swing for Dallas as Jack Sambiaku is able to extinguish the ghost that is Nelson Hampton.
Statement made by the Dallas Enforcers, Jack Sambiaku. Oh my goodness.
This is motherfucker, okay? Let's go, baby.
That left hook, pinpoint sharp, thudding on the button. Look at that. Right there, saw the opening, a short little left hook, and down went Nelson Hampton. And the finish.
A 1-point Houston lead turns into a 2-point Dallas advantage.
I know they don't do it, but Sambiaku to me got some style points there
the
because
referee stops this round at 1 minute and 54 seconds for your winner via TKO. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Jack Sambiaku. Dallas leads 160-158. This round brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round 18 is in the 154-pound division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Mauricio Bad News King. In the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Ray Alif Ali Talib.
Well, here we go with round 18, a chance for Ray Talib in Houston to answer back. They've already done it once. Back in round number 16 with Barnes getting a win over Mailata. Can they continue to match Dallas as we go down the final stretch tonight? It's round number 2 between King and Talib. And Bubba, what is it like on the Dallas side of things after that electric sequence from Jack Sambiaku in the 17th round?
Well, it feels a lot like the winner's circle over here at the Dallas, on the Dallas side. You know, you could feel them feel as though they got it in the bag. You know, I talked to the coach and he was saying, listen, I like my last 8 guys versus their last 8 guys. We just got to not give them so much respect and let them gather all the momentum. And then I went over to the other side and he was like, man, we just cannot give up the bonus points. We cannot. We're fighting well tonight. We got a 1-point lead going into the last 8. We cannot give up the bonus points. And soon as his guy went down, he looked over at me in the corner and he just gave me that nod like, that's exactly what I was talking about. And Sam did exactly what he does. Sambiaku, I mean, he's been celebrating and dancing after every fight because he comes through for his team in the most opportune times. And it was just so apropos for him to be doing that.
Bubba, how important are bonus points, especially when you're losing decisions? Dallas was losing a litany of decisions, but they got a TKO win by Calvin Henderson. Sambiaku with the big TKO. How important is that to be able to keep you in this matchup?
Well, it's vital because you can just hear the crowd get into it when the bonus points are just right there on the edge of Houston's punches. He almost went down. Those were some bonus points that they were sniffing right there, right? They're vital. They're absolutely everything. They're the difference between making it the playoffs and having to fight Vegas in the first round. It's everything in the last 8 rounds, especially when it comes down to what we call the money rounds in the TCL.
Final 45 seconds to go in round number 18. Meeting number 2 tonight between Talib and King. Each of these rounds and moments so precious given the way that the first 17 have gone.
And Bubba, if you're Houston, in terms of remaining composed, you're at home, you got the crowd on your side. How much do you need to be able to utilize that to give you that last burst as we are into the money rounds?
You use it. You got to use everything that you've already had. Use everything that you got. Use some of what your mom's got, what your dad gave you, what the crowd's going to bring to you. You guys are 0-6 trying to be the first team to not be the only team to not get a win. And when you're down, when you're coming close to these last nitty-gritties, you got to do everything you can, whether it's dance like Dallas or move like some of these other guys. Do whatever you can to not be the same Houston you've been. Just be different.
Well, I'm not trying to be a quote-unquote party pooper here, but I think if Maurice King wouldn't have danced as much, he might have. And I think the decision's going to go in favor of Talib, but I thought he did a little bit too much dancing, and he was almost dancing on the canvas because he got hammered there by Talib.
Yeah, that punch put him on skates.
We have a split decision. Woo! Our first judge scores the round 10-9 for Mauricio King. Our second judge scores the round 10-9 for Ray Talib. Our third judge scores the round 10-9 for your winner via split decision out of the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Ray Alif Ali Talib. Dallas leads 169-168. Round 19 is in the 160-pound division. In the blue corner, for the Dallas Enforcers, Adolf the Wolf Stevens. In the red corner, for the Houston Hitmen, Rafael Ibach.
Justin, I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to say that Talib is dancing his way into the winner's circle, whereas Maurice King is not, and he was dancing a little bit too much. Split decision in favor of Houston. Some big points for the Hitmen.
I love how after the decision was read, the Houston Corral gave the dance moves right back to Mauricio King, and on the heels of that split decision, we come to the rematch of what is easily the most questionable split decision of the night, and right away, Rafael Ibach goes down. It is ruled a knockdown. In the opening seconds, Adolf Stevens has Dallas's knockdown in round 19.
Justin Stevens felt that he was robbed in his previous outing, and he comes out and looks outstanding. He's got a 10-8 now. He's going for the 10-7 and the stoppage against Ibach.
Houston has won more rounds here tonight, but Dallas has gobbled up the extra points. Already 2 10-7 scores have gone the way of the Enforcers, and Adolf Stevens with loads of time to make it a third here in the money rounds.
Well, not to sound like Beyonce, but Ibach is saying, can he survive? Is he going to be a survivor and remain upright and just give away 2 points?
Oh, eats a big left hand from Adolf Stevens. And again, Ibach fighting with his head down. You know, that's one of the big reasons why we questioned the split decision. And not just that, but then the decision toward Ibach, because we saw him do that so much in the first round. You can't win a fight with your head looking down at the mat.
I know we got Game 7 of the NBA Finals coming up, but it's one of those things. Ball doesn't lie. Boxing never lies, especially here when it comes to Team Combat League. And we're seeing it with Adolf Stevens looking outstanding against Ibach.
Adolf Stevens trying to leave nothing in the pens of the judges.
Well, Ibach showcasing his durability, but the key is, can he remain upright in this final 65 seconds? Seems like Stevens might have punched himself out. Those bonus points have been massive for Tony Mack and the Dallas Enforcers.
Can they grab some more? Right hand pushes Ibach back. 40 seconds remain in the 19th round. That's beautiful work there from Stevens. First, the left hand gets through the guard, then the right hand slips behind the cover of Ibach. There's another right hand that lands. So there's some porous defense from Ibach here in the 19th round. Both fighters taking a glance up at the clock, Ray.
Well, I'm sure we're going to see that last surge from Stevens.
Oh, big left hand! Ibach jelly leg! That's it! It's all over! Adolf Stevens with some big-time redemption in the money rounds. A 10-7 decision yet again for Dallas.
There's a reason why Stevens is among the leaders of this playoff-bound Dallas Enforcers franchise. And look, case in point with what he just did to Rafael Ibach. And we're looking at the action. Boom, that left. That iced Ibach. That was the first knockdown. And Ibach was still out on his feet. He gathered himself towards the tail end of the round. Bang, that sledgehammer of a left hand. And he did not have his balance. The gloves touch, knockdown roll, 10-7. Dallas Enforcers, more bonus points in abundance for the 4-2 Dallas Enforcers as they try to make their record extend and increase it to 5-2.
They increased their overall lead here to 4.
The referee stops this round at 2:46. For your winner via TKO in the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Adolf the Wolf Stevens. Fight fans, round 20 will be scratched due to earlier stoppage and scored 10-9 for Dallas. Dallas leads 189-184. Round 21 is in the heavyweight division. In the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Patrick Magic Mailata. In the blue corner, in the red corner for the Houston Hitmen, Travorce the Bear Barnes.
The Houston Hitmen had a 1-point lead heading into the money rounds. 4 rounds later, Dallas is up by 5. It's round 2 between Mailata and Barnes. Let's go over to Bubba Jenkins.
Yeah, I'm here right on the side of Houston. We were talking about not giving up the bonus points, Coach.
Exactly what I just told you. Exactly what I said. Not to happen happened. So
before the round was over, you gave me that look like, man, that's exactly what we were talking about.
We just talked about it. So, but it's all right. We're not out of it. We're not giving up. We're going to fight till the end.
All right, Coach.
Houston go Barnes. Pretty good work against Mailata in round 16 to get the W.
Justin, this was our round to watch in the money rounds, and Barnes almost had Mailata out. And now more than ever, he has to press the issue because it's not just good enough to win the round. He's got to get some bonus points to try to cut into this seismic Dallas Enforcers advantage.
It's so tricky, and it's part of the entertainment factor with TCL Team Boxing League. You got to earn points for your team. Right now, if you're Houston, you got to find a way to earn extra points. But in all of that, you can't press, you can't chase those results, otherwise you're going to find yourself in a precarious position.
What we are witnessing is a Houston Hitmen's franchise that is, it's almost like football when you have a rookie quarterback but a quality defense, and you're very close to a team that's playoff bound with a quality quarterback, and you're tied up and you're leading, and then you give up the lead at home in the fourth quarter, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, is it going to be the same old song and dance? And that's what the Houston Hitmen are going to find out about themselves in these final money rounds.
If Dallas can hold on, they will be sitting pretty as far as playoff seeding goes. Potentially the 3 seed, maybe the 4 seed. They have a couple weeks off before they close out the regular season against the 2 and 4 LA Elite.
And what drama, Justin. 3 TKO wins for the Dallas Enforcers. 3 10-7s. That's incredible.
Houston had won 8 of 10 rounds at one point. Aguilera leaning into Travorce Barnes.
Who was it? Former late great head coach Dennis Green. We had him and we let him off the hook. And that's exactly what Bobby Benton and company will probably be pondering if they come up short and remain winless.
It's a great Green impersonation.
Well, you know, happened against my Chicago Bears, but that'll be it for that. But for Barnes, he looked solid, but it wasn't they needed more. They needed bonus points. And now Houston, they have their backs against the wall.
It's a subdued Houston Corral. Let's go to the judge's decision here.
Some dance moves by Barnes before the decision's being read.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 in the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Patrick Magic Mailata. Dallas leads 199-193. This round brought to you by Balance of Nature, proud health supplement partner of TCL. Round 22 is in the heavyweight division. Out of the blue corner for the Dallas Enforcers, Kenyon Walker.
Well, Ray, this is one of the more impressive money round stretches we've seen from a team this season.
WBA Latino champion, Nagi, Dominican Dynamite, Aguilera.
Dallas entered round 17 down by 1. We start round number 22 with Houston needing 3 straight stoppages to tie this. Or, beg your pardon, win the match.
No doubt about it. Now Nagy Aguilera going on the offensive. He needs some bonus points.
And he ran right into a right hand from Aguilera, did Walker. Aguilera.
Nagy Aguilera's been in there against former world title challengers, being a Latino heavyweight champion. You're Kenyon Walker, you just want to be able, and he's pressing the issue. He's looking at his teammates' performances as to say, I'm not going to be left behind. And Dallas facing adversity, rising to the challenge. Credit to Tony Mack, the head coach of Dallas.
Let's go to Bubba Jenkins.
Tony Mack. That's right. It's almost like you kind of know something. It's almost like you know boxing a little bit. You were saying, man, we got to win out. We got to do what we always do, keep the momentum, and not let them be who they are. How'd that turn out this round?
It turned out amazing. It turned out great. The fighters, they listened to me. We was losing momentum, but I knew the setup we had going into the money rounds, we could win out. And the guys, they listened. They're hungry. They know that we can't go into the playoffs winning. We got to go to letting people. We can't go into the playoffs just to get in. We got to be a dangerous team going into the playoffs. And I think we did some good stuff tonight to let them know we're dangerous. Too close to my comfort, but we got to let them know that we're dangerous going into the playoffs with this lineup we got.
Tell the crowd a little bit of what we were talking about earlier, why you think you guys may have gotten into this hole and why you may have had to pull it out and have to look at me in the last rounds and say, Bubba, we're going to need to win out. What was that about, and where did your team make that mistake?
We underestimated them. In our mind, we had that we was going to win, so we lost consistency. Like I said before, success is very dangerous as well, too. So we lost a little momentum, but going into the money rounds, that I knew we was going to pull this off. Win out.
Congratulations, Coach. You called it like you see it, and you guys are looking like you're going to be on there. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bubba. 199-193, Dallas in front, and in a few moments, many viewers will be breaking away for breaking news. TCL Team Boxing League will return at its conclusion, and encore presentations of tonight's action in its entirety will be seen soon on Merit TV.
Breaking right now here on Dr. Phil's Merit TV. President Trump has authorized and U.S. troops have now carried out a successful airstrike on 3 different nuclear sites in Iran. The sites are the much-discussed Fordow site, Natanz, and Isfahan. President Trump says all U.S. planes are now outside of Iranian airspace, and he posted this on True Social. If you come back into the studio with me here, I want to show you what President Trump, he's been very active on True Social, and we do anticipate that we'll hear from the president from the White House in about 22 minutes or so. But if you zoom out, take a look at the board here behind me. You can see here that 53 minutes or so ago, President Trump, well, this is a different one, but we'll talk about this one. This is over an hour ago. Well, here we go. So 53 minutes ago, he actually pinned If you go down a little further, he talks about what he's going to be doing next. I will be giving an address to the nation at 10 p.m. This is Eastern time at the White House regarding our very successful military operation in Iran. This is an historic moment for the United States of America, Israel, and the world. Iran must now agree to end this war, he says. Thank you. He ends that. Before that, let me just scroll down a little bit further, and you can see that he also posted this. Open source intel, a verified account, says Fordo is gone. So you may be asking yourself, well, what is Fordo? Fordo is said to be kind of the apex of the nuclear activity in Iran. It's a nuclear site where scientists have buried underground some anywhere from 200 to 400 feet below ground is where they're currently working on their nuclear operations. And now, according to the president, Fordo is gone. What does it take to eliminate Fordo? Those bunker buster bombs. We had some video earlier of the stealth B-2 bombers. This is the only aircraft that can actually carry those bunker buster bombs, all right? And we're told that the U.S. may have used upwards of 6 of those bunker buster bombs this evening. Again, we're going to get much more clarity, we hope at least, when the president addresses the nation coming up in about 20 minutes from now. Back here in studio, I want to show you one more thing that the president posted on True Social. This is over an hour ago. Take a look here behind me. We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordo. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter, he says. All right, we have a lot of context and perspective. We have our political director, Lindsay Keith, who's joining us from D.C. tonight. We also have former commander of the U.S. Army Space and Missile Defense Command, retired Lieutenant General Daniel Karbler. General Karbler, let's start with you. First of all, your reaction to what we're hearing happened earlier tonight.
Yeah, Chris, I think that this is a continuation of President Trump's strategy.
General, we're having an issue with your microphone. Let's see if we can get that worked out. It may be our end, but let's get to Lindsay. Lindsay, can you hear me? And what are we hearing from the White House?
I can't hear you, Chris. Just to level set here, this is the most significant military action we have seen President Trump not only take in this term, but in any of his time as president, even in his first term. This is quite outstanding that he would take action like this against Iran. And it comes as just on Thursday, we heard from him directly from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt that he was going to give Iran up to 2 weeks of time to negotiate. And that was actually questioned yesterday on the tarmac when somebody was able to ask him, does that mean you're going to give them all the way to the end of 2 weeks, or could you take action at any time? And he would not answer that. He demurred. And we had the answer to that tonight. But one of the big questions here really that many people are asking, and we're trying to get answers on the White House, is will this be the end? Obviously, there's been a lot of controversy about the U.S. getting involved in forever wars. And as you read out in President Trump's True Social there, he has essentially said, these are the strikes that we have made. He has told some reporters that it was 6 mother of all bombs, 6 bunker busting bombs that were used through B-2 bombers. We'll see what he confirms tonight in his address to the nation. But ultimately, he believes that he could strike Iran tonight and will not embroil the U.S. in forever wars. And obviously, he has campaigned heavily on that he would be a peacekeeper and that he would get the U.S. out of forever war. So this is a very significant move by President Trump this evening. We're who have responded. But one of the questions is, how will the Supreme Leader respond this evening? And they said was not out of question that they would potentially target him. And so that's one of the other things we're waiting to hear tonight. Was this a part of the attack, not just 3 nuclear